Hey guys, so I need a new garage door opener. Went to local Lowe's to see what they had. They had Chamberlain, Genie, and Craftsman. So I did a quick review online, maybe not so quick, I was at Lowe's for quite a while, but looked like this B970 had the best reviews online out of the various models they actually had in stock. And I wanted to try and get this done today, so that's why I went to Lowe's and bought it on what they had in stock. I just opened this, but I didn't take anything out, so let's take a look here. Instructions, take a look at that a bit more. I don't know if this is a pattern or just packaging. So unit in the middle section, looks like both sides have some stuff. This is a belt unit, not a chain. So figure out how to use that. I think that's a keypad. Some mounting brackets down here. Let's check the other side now. Mounting hardware, I'm guessing. More brackets. This is my first garage door installation, so it's probably going to be dark out when I finish. What do you have in here? That's heavy. Let's see, what is this? Oh, battery. This model did say it had a battery backup. I didn't really care about that, but I did want a garage door opener that I would not have to be changing in another year or two, so that's why I went with this one, and just happened to also have a battery backup. Alrighty, I'm gonna put the phone down so I can get this out, and I'll record once everything's out on the floor. Okay, so I got everything out, and we'll see how it goes together. Here's a couple more parts I found. They were actually in the light bulb compartments here. So I believe that's a sensor and the remotes for the car. Step 1 is complete. So this is the end of step 2. We've connected this section here. I think this is a 1/2 inch fitting here. 1/2 inch bolt. Step 3 is a short one. We don't even put bolts in. Just pull this through. This hook pointed down. Looks like step 4 is putting the bolt through. Okay, so step number 4 is now complete. I just used a adjustable wrench on the top and 9/16 socket on the bottom to put this bolt here in. And then right here, I started propping it up with a screwdriver, and then I used the adjustable wrench to pull this up the rest of the way. Step number 4 is connecting this end with the trolley. So all it does is hook in there like this. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. There we go. And that's good. And this is why you want the screwdriver here from one of the earlier steps. So when you're pulling on it, it doesn't just continue down the slide. Or the track, rather. Then it also says wrap it around this, which take off this. I think this is just protecting grease on here. So wrap it around. And then the next step, I believe, is connecting right here. Step 6. We place this part in here. I think this is called the spring tensioner. And the manual does note this side out, and just screw it on enough to hold it in there. Step 7 is installing the master link. Looks like a bicycle chain master link here. And one thing to note, I followed the instructions. It is loose. It does not fit tight like a normal chain, like a master link would on a chain. So, guessing that's normal. Also, step 7, I should have finished reading before I recorded. It says to hand tighten the belt. Do not use a wrench while tightening. So, turns pretty easily by hand, and belt's a little bit snug, still has some slack in it, so I'll continue on. This next step says to put a screwdriver into this ring slot here, then turn this nut counterclockwise. I believe by doing that it will line up with these slots in here, and the spring will extend. This washer, then this ring should then go against here. And I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, so that's why I explained it before I did it, and I'll get back to you afterwards. Alright, that was actually much easier than I expected. Just rotated this counterclockwise and it released, no problem. Used a larger Klein screwdriver and what's that, a 7/16 wrench. And I believe step 8 is now complete. And step number 9 is now complete. Those are either 1/2 inch, or you can use Phillips, or I guess flathead also. I used a 1/4 inch nut driver, made it pretty easy. Installation step 3 is now complete. I didn't take individual steps with 1 and 2 since it was all pretty much the same thing. Install this bracket on the wall right here. Give you these wood screws, wood bolts, whatever. So anchor it up and then just put the pin through and lock it in place. It says to use a ladder. I only have 1 ladder handy, so I use the box to prop this up. At the angle when it was still on the floor, the bolt on the bottom was hitting this here, so it ended up causing some issues. That's why I had to prop it up. Okay, I believe I am now done with step 5, 6, and 7. So this is a weird finished ceiling, not quite. None of this matches any of the examples, so I had some scrap 2x3s I used, and some 3-inch screws, and then the wood bolts off the old system, the old garage door opener. So it's pretty secure up there. I think it is the correct height, although doing this myself is a bit iffy. Anyways, I think I'm gonna move on and do the attachment. We now have the release rope attached. For step 10, I'm going to reuse the attachment that's already on my door, but they give us this attachment, slightly different connection than what I have, but should attach the same to the door mechanism. Next, step 11. I don't think I referenced this earlier, but there are 3 pins. This is the smallest, which is QQ, going to be used in step 11. This is the medium, and the larger one we used when we were assembling in the unit before we installed it on the ceiling. So we now need the smallest pin for step 11. And this is what it looks like after step 11 is complete. And it is loose. Most of these connections are not snug fitting. Here we have step 12 complete. Again, I used the old pin and the old attachment to the door. If you are going to use the attachment and pin provided, this is the medium-sized pin. So I think I have the right angle, but let me know. What does that look like to you? We'll see how it works. I may have to adjust the angle there. Those are 1/2-inch bolts, or well, 1/2-inch socket and wrench to tighten these, so I can readjust them as needed. We'll see how this works here. So that was step 13, and step 14 is just move this arm here. I didn't turn on the flashlight, sorry guys, but I think you get the picture. And then when we run the garage door opener, it should automatically relatch. Okay, I finished all the electrical wiring minus actually plugging it in. So here's the inside the door Chamberlain controller. Ran it up into the attic. Okay, so here's the photo eye. This is the emitter. The emitter has a yellow LED or an amber LED. And if one side of the garage is in direct sunlight, they recommend putting the emitter on that side, not the receiver. And this side is the receiver here. It has a green LED. Not certain if you can see that, but ran the wires up to the top. I don't know if you can, over to the middle and across the middle up to the Chamberlain unit. Okay, well, we now have power. I had a little bit of extra work I had to do. Apparently the old garage door opener did not have a ground plug, and possibly was installed before ground plugs were common. This is an old house, so I had to run a ground up to that outlet. And we are now good to go. So I'll be continuing on shortly. I need to add another light bulb there. Battery goes in on the side here. And just to note, the screw right here, it is not self-contained, so if you go to pop off the lid, that screw will go flying. Luckily, I was able to find it. And here's what this looks like with the cover on. Programming this unit was very simple. It spells it out exactly what to do in the instructions. Press and hold the adjustment button, which is the middle button, until the up button begins to flash. Press and hold the up button until your door is at the desired height. Once the door is at the desired height, press that adjustment button in the middle again. Press and hold the down button until the door is in the desired down position. Once the door is in the desired down position, press and release the adjustment button. The garage door opener's lights will flash twice. Press and release the up button, should traverse full open. Press and release the down button, garage door should full close. And program is complete. Then has you do a couple tests to make sure you don't crush somebody or a dog or a cat. Here's the first test. Have something blocking the way of the door but not the beam. And the door should fully open. And we have an alarm going off. And the next one, I believe, is blocking the beam. The door should not lower. And we are getting an alarm. Everything checks out. The keypad was easy to program. Instructions are actually right on here. I programmed it while holding it in my hand and on a ladder, because the button you have to press is actually the round button. It looks square on here, but it's a round button to the left of the up-down arrows on the actual unit itself. So quick and easy to program, and then just 2 screws to install it outside. To open, you press the code and then enter, and then to close, you don't have to hit the code, you just hit enter.